All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Castlevania Nocturne, Season 1, Episode 1.
We're
New
back.
show, but also back to an old show.
Right.
Yes. Let's get back to these, new dorks that we'll probably be getting, because of course we're going to be having that same kind of awesome banter, just in a new flavor.
Yeah, we probably will. I'm very excited to return to the world of Castlevania. We loved our little Belmont
Our
and
dorks.
Alucard and,
the
and Sci-fi trio.
The just awkward, bumbling, we hate each other, but we also totally get along and are really badass, but also maybe, some steamy stuff happens. Off camera.
Off camera. Exactly. Right,
Yeah.
right. Mm-hmm. But this is awesome. Same people back to make the next one. Mm-hmm. I do not have any connection to the Castlevania games in the slightest bit.
Me neither.
My only Castlevania experience is with the Netflix show that came before this one. So I don't have any connection to any of the characters or what have you, but I do know that people are very excited about the main character of this one because he is a big game character.
Okay.
So
cool.
That's kind of going to be a fun perspective to have, in that we won't have any of the nostalgia or any of the connection or what have you.
Yeah, this will be almost entirely new stuff, unless there's a particular, maybe
immortal,
not sad anymore boy.
Right, an immortal boy who should still be kicking.
He should still be around.
He should still be doing things.
But also, if the show doesn't want to have him be like the main focus of it, totally makes sense.
Totally
new
fine.
cast, all that stuff.
I mean, you know what? He can sleep on it. Just
that's right.
Let things go by.
Uh-huh.
I'm here for him to make that kind of decision.
He's napping. He's on vacation. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
That's right.
But other than that, no expectations other than let's just hope that we get anywhere close to the heights of the previous one. And I'm not going to hold it to that unrealistic standard, really, because the first one had so many little things going for it, despite it being a production hell to try and actually complete.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's I think where I'm really excited for this one, because the fact that it's that it's made in the first place, right, is fantastic. But then also it feels like a nice continuation of the production side of things for the original series, even though the story of the original series concluded. So
right, because the first one had a lot of problems getting its foot into the door.
Oh yeah,
whereas now that this one exists, it's we have the hype of the previous one. We can go out the gate swinging and not have to do a 4-episode first season. You know?
Exactly.
We can get a full season.
Well, and also potentially have a better setup for an overarching story, because the original series had that great setup for all right, season 1, okay, then you get season 2, and then the stuff that follows is good stuff, but it's different, right? Whereas with this one, it might be one kind of story arc all the way through.
For sure. But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Fun.
So, you're probably wondering how I got here.
Fireworks. Very cool.
Getting the Star Wars opening.
Yeah.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Hey, we just got independence. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, screw the British. Am I right? America.
Also means we'll probably be having a decent amount of guns.
I thought I was supposed to fight evil. I thought that was the whole point.
Why do you have to argue about everything? I'm your mother. I think you'll be safer in France.
Is Auntie Terra a vampire hunter? No. So will I be safer with her? No.
Oh.
I should be here with you, fighting evil.
I know it feels like I'm sending you away.
You are sending me away.
Well, yes, in the most literal sense, but
I have no choice.
Don't listen to her, Victor. There's always a choice.
What? Oh.
Finally.
All rocks. Go to the ship, Richter. I'll catch you up.
she would not, in fact, catch you up.
Made a big mistake. My mom was gonna slice you in two.
Do you know how many vampire hunters have promised to slice me in two?
Go.
Yeah.
She'll be able to fight better with you not here. All right.
Oh, I love it. Let's
She's
JoJo
got the whip.
walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, straight to it. Damn, the drip is always on point with this show.
God damn it, kid!
No. Whoa!
All right.
Yep.
Cool. Also got the magic.
Oh.
All right.
I love it.
Beautiful.
Got the sci-fi magic, but also the Belmont whip, you know, let's go.
So help me, if she gets distracted because she sees that he's still here.
Damn, let's go.
All right.
Is this their kid? No.
Oh,
Oh!
shit.
Jeez.
All right.
Whoa!
Oh.
Oh. Whoa!
What?
Whoa!
That's not fair.
Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
God.
Oh my God. Told you to run.
Wait, where'd he go? Wait.
Oh shit.
He was huge.
Oh shit. Fuck. Okay, all right. Oh, just like that.
What, lightning?
What?
Melting the ice.
I'm sorry, Victor.
Yeah.
All right, there's your tragic backstory. How does he get out of this?
Little boy Belmont.
The madness eyes.
I know that feeling. Wow. That pain, that burning, unendurable need for retribution. Your mama took someone from me I loved. Just as much as you loved her. She had to die. Oh, I could kill you too, one day.
And you come back.
But not tonight.
Wow.
Now do what your mom told you to do and run along to the ship.
This is your Batman origin story, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And yes, it was your fault.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A celebrated night for many, but for one boy wandering the lonely streets with naught but his mother's whip and a fire in his heart.
Yeah. All right, yeah, let's get the opening. Let's go.
You mean like the 5-second opening that we got in the first show? Like,
Hey.
there you go. That was the opening.
All right, well, I'll take it.
They claim it's the natural order,
Whoa.
No.
9 years later.
and that's just the will of God.
Damn, the detail.
Yeah.
It's the natural
Incredible.
order for them to get rich by milking us dry with impossible rents and unpayable taxes.
French Revolution. Here we go.
Ah.
They thought it would stay like that till the end of time.
So the guillotine's gonna be like silver.
The government in Paris has overthrown the monarchy and declared.
All right, here's
a
our
republic.
boy.
No more kings, no more aristocrats. Vive la révolution!
All right.
Okay. You'll need a few more people than that, but. Oh.
Get some upheaval in France. Okay, he's yoked.
All right.
He's got the whip.
He's got the
Clean.
style. Oh.
Clean. Oh.
All right.
Stay close. Stay together. Don't run into the woods.
Cool. Light magic.
All right.
That should be like really big. Oh, it's like summons and stuff.
All right. Cool.
Kind of like what the vampire used in the beginning.
Oh, sure.
Oh! Oh, to redirect it at the end.
I love it.
Oh, that's clever.
See, that's one of the things. Like, I'm really glad they're keeping the whip because that was one of the parts about the fights from the original series that would just helped keep it so dynamic.
Oh. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, so they transmute into light right at the second they hit
All right.
the vampire to be able to then do damage.
Sure.
Whoa! Yeah, let's lean into the high fantasy a little bit more.
Yeah.
Little singing blades there.
Oh.
Ah, yeah!
You can kill me, Richter Belmont, but it won't do you any good. Before the moon is full, the vampire messiah will come. You will suffer and die.
That makes absolutely no sense.
It's fantastic. Okay, but how hilarious would it be if their vampire messiah was Alucard?
I mean, that would be amazing, yes.
Oh.
She's like, "Aw, I was toying with him."
Yeah.
I told you this was a damn stupid place for a revolutionary meeting.
We'll just have to start holding them in the town.
Or during the day.
Yeah.
What did it mean by the
fair.
vampire messiah?
Who knows? What a ridiculous concept.
It might explain why there seem to be more vampires around lately. They're gathering somewhere. The chateau. I wouldn't wonder.
It's where I'd go if I was a vampire. The devourer of light, it said. That sounds bad.
What's so special about here?
The local ham and beans is pretty sensational. Makes local blood nice and smoky.
God, you're a wanker.
Maybe we should discuss this with the abbot. I know he's no friend to the revolution, but he can't be much of a friend to vampires either.
Okay.
You're right.
I am?
We propose a temporary alliance. They help us see what's happening, and then they help us fight.
Maybe don't tell him about the magic birds, though.
He knows you kill vampires.
I have a reputation.
And I use a whip.
Because
Right.
of the heroic and handsome thing. But teenage girls conjuring creatures from the other world, they start building piles of very flammable wood.
Oh.
Ooh. Ah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is his small army, yeah.
Hi, Mizrak. We need to speak to the abbot. We killed 3 vampires tonight. Out in the woods near the chateau. One of them said something about a vampire messiah.
Okay, we'll bring you in. That's
All right,
that's
yeah.
new. I've
That's-
never heard that before.
Yeah.
They say they have urgent business about vampires.
Last couple of years, I'd kill one every few months or so. But this was 3 in one night. One of them warned me, which was nice of it, that a vampire messiah is on its way.
Which might explain why the vampires are congregating at the chateau.
The Marquis is a pillar of this community. Can't believe he would welcome vampires into his home.
Before the revolution, he spent all his time at court and probably forgot we existed.
Parroting the phrases of the godless mob.
A godless...
No good will come of all this hatred and envy and division. It will only lead to bloodshed.
Well, bloodshed, yes.
I know how much pain is in your soul. How much sadness.
You don't know me.
Shut
What
up.
are
You're not
what
my
are you, my
dad.
dad?
Yeah.
We think vampires are gathering at the chateau, and maybe this is the reason. See if it is just innocent nobles with their teeth stained by nothing worse than vintage claret, but we could use some help.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can find out.
Yeah.
I have my spies. The Marquis won't thank us for besmirching his good name. If he has thrown his doors open to the undead,
That's
we
a
can
problem.
go together and
Yeah.
burn them all to dust.
Fantastic.
We have a common enemy in evil, though evil can be more subtle than is often supposed.
True.
Indeed.
Why did I get the vibe that he's like her dad or something?
Yeah. I really did. Yeah.
Like he was chiding her in a very...
Right.
I have my spies.
Ooh, spies.
And also the way that she was like talking to him.
Yeah.
We did the right thing, though. Speaking to him.
And you were good as gold.
Well, there's only so much pious bullshit I can stand.
True.
Very fair.
Tavern.
Go for a drink if you want.
We promised your mother we'd come home.
Oh. Someone about to get bled.
Yep. Drunken stroll with a gun. What could go wrong?
Oh. Hi.
Is that supposed to be like Marie Antoinette or something?
Well. Get drained, son. Dang, that was quick. I mean, we knew because of our third-person view that there are definitely vampires at the
Right.
chateau with all the
Yeah.
nobles there, but
Ah.
just dragging it back.
Every moment in Versailles, there was something
exciting. But here, even the peasants. What is it about you peasants out here that makes everything so unremittingly dull?
I hate him.
Yeah, but I love it. Yeah. But I'll still dig it.
Jeez.
All right.
Well, the situation is clear. Mm-hmm. We've got a fuck-mothering vampire here.
That's right.
or 5.
Or 500.
Right. For a ritual of some kind? Like a ritual of summoning
People don't need me to tell
Or
them
just
their
a
life
night's
is bad,
banquet.
but they're suspicious of the revolution. They get told lies about everything by people they think they can trust.
The abbot's a good man, Maria. And what he says, it's not lies.
I'm sorry, Rita.
I've believed the church for
I'm
centuries.
so sorry.
The world is changing. Even people were really listening, weren't they, Rick?
Does he have some kind of sense, basically? Or is he just...
People were really listening tonight.
Well, I wasn't.
Why do you kill vampires then?
It's the most fun you can have with your clothes on. I don't believe in destiny.
You don't believe in anything. It's because they're evil, Richter.
Oh my god, are you sure?
And evil has to be fought.
I believe in you and your mother. You're the kindest, most courageous people in the world. I don't need to understand the things you believe in. And I certainly don't need to believe in them too. I just need to stand by you. Always.
Always. That's quite a promise. Whoa!
Well.
Whoa!
Okay.
That was loud.
That's a problem.
Just a hit.
Yeah.
Just...
Fuck are you?
Yeah!
Do you know what they are?
No.
I'm sure they can die.
The amount of action
this is
we've had in this episode.
This is a crazy just beginning, and that we're... Oh, the armor on this one.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, your whip's not gonna do too much.
Jeez. Yeah, we might need a little bit more extreme help here. Oh. Oh,
Yep,
crap.
yep. All right, what do we got? Wait,
That
wait,
sword.
Wait. Okay. No, all right.
Oh, sick. Let's go. They're like,
Yeah, well, peace. Maybe there are some people with what it takes to be revolutionaries, after all.
Cool, yeah. They're like summoned with sand.
Those were night creatures, weren't they? Made from human corpses grafted onto souls from hell. Nobody's made any for centuries.
Obviously you're a witch, but where did you come from?
Thank you.
They don't just happen. Someone has to make them.
Yep. A forge master.
There must be a forge master around here.
Can you answer my questions?
My name is Annette.
And I'm Edouard.
Annette.
We're from the island of Saint-Domingue, in the Caribbean Sea.
Cool. Yeah.
We're
The
looking
Americas.
for someone called Belmont.
That would be the ungrateful wanker.
Yep.
I don't suppose you know anything about a vampire messiah.
Yes. That's why we're here.
Oh, here
Okay.
we go. Oh, here
Cool.
we go. Yeah.
All right, so we've got our squad.
Well, because they were probably chasing the vampire that killed his mother from here in the Americas,
Oh,
and he's on his way
all right, cool.
to France.
Good of you to meet me, Valblanc. But I can make my own way. You can tell your Messiah I'm here.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, not even like
Okay, so not
probably
him.
just here to pay tribute, just to
Sure.
be like, we've got the advent
Yeah.
of a demon.
Right,
I
the
definitely
big
wanna be there
dog's
for
coming
that.
into town, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I
Fun
love it.
start.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was very fun.
Yeah, very fun, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
On a lot of questions.
The character designs were great.
All right,
Okay.
it's 1792.
Yep.
We're in France right before the revolution begins. We've got vampires hiding amongst the aristocracy.
Love
We've
it.
got all kinds of like subtext and layers of like the people like starting to rise up around the world as the American Revolution just finished. As a Belmont descendant of Sypha and Treffy are just out and about,
Right, just
doing things,
continuing
being
to
a
do their
monster
thing.
hunter.
And I like that the tie-in with like aristocracy and stuff. I think that's really fun because as far as like, oh, where would these vampires be? And if we had the first show, right, then like, all right, where would they be? And like, if they're this ancient, they would already be established and everything. So you'd kind of know about them, even if you didn't know they were vampires.
Right, so they'd have to
And
be
so-
established in their respective regions, which
Right.
then we have this new one, Olorox or what have you.
Yeah.
Olorox, who seems to be almost like he's established, but he's not. And
Yeah.
he's in the Americas, which is a recently developing area in general, so there's not much to be established to.
Yeah.
Unless you go back to like the Native Americans and such.
Which I think is what they're doing.
Maybe what they're doing,
Awesome.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Like
But then-
his whole design is great. Like
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him be a bad guy
He's
and just
ostentatious but also subtle.
right.
Like,
Well, yeah, he's ostentatious but he's subtle, and also just like that's the kind of design that I want to have. Also giving the quippy like the quippy banter back at the protagonist,
who
as
should
they
be the
square
quippy
off
banter.
to fight. You know,
right.
yeah, exactly.
But he was
right?
doing it to a kid,
Yeah.
a shell-shocked
Right.
kid
Yeah.
who just got to watch his mother die.
Yep.
And he's just like, yes, this was your fault. You know, obviously, this
I could
is
kill
what
you.
Belmont's hearing in his head.
Right,
but it's
right.
the like, yes, I could kill you.
Yeah. If it weren't for you, Mufasa would still be alive.
Right.
You
But
know?
you're going to come at me. And it'll be years, decades from now, whatever.
Yeah.
But by that time, you'll have felt my pain. Or at least a fraction
Right.
of it.
And you'll be coming after me with that vim and vigor that will make it so much more fun to
That you've
kill you.
dedicated your life to. It's like,
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And for this
What-
vampire,
what-
it's like I'll see you in a month. You know, right? Like it's just like
what's
great.
the villain from? I don't remember what it was, but the villain that like was joking about how much joy they get from like killing someone coming after them for revenge. I don't remember who it is, but it was some. I'll remember what it is. It's from another piece of media. that I really love, where the villain's just mocking the like, oh yes, and they come at you after like killing their like parents or what have you, and they're like, "You foul fiend, I'm going to destroy you," and you're like, "Yes, give me your lines," and what have you. I don't remember what it is, but this is
can't
making
remember
me
either.
think of that because it gave great Batman coded energy for our protagonist Richter,
You're right.
who is under no like way, shape, or what have you even capable now of fighting a really strong vampire.
Yeah.
But we saw rather quickly that he can handle himself against monsters.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a great companion with Maria, who has also her own form of magic.
Yeah. So we've got our like our strong dude, thick-headed, melee bruiser type
Who
with the
needs
whip.
to emotionally process
Who
some
needs to
things.
emotionally process some things, and then we've got the snappy, sassy,
brains of the operation,
bright-haired girl with the magic, that's the brains of the operation.
Right.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
Now all we need is sad boy, right? Like,
Right. But then we have Annette and Edouard kind of coming in, who are like, no, we have the main plot. We've actually been on the trail. We've been on the track of this whole vampire messiah thing.
Yes, we've got a team up already, so we've got our proper squad. And
Yeah,
we
we're
can
moving
get to know them
very
as we go.
quickly.
But I also got to say, we got a parent. We got a mom that also has magic that is with them.
Yeah.
And she didn't
She didn't
immediately die.
Right. That's true.
Also, her character design.
She's very
also,
attractive. Yes, I was just gonna
great.
say. Yes. I was gonna say it too if you were gonna.
There was that
oh
part of me
my
that was
God.
like, so who is it that Richter is going to be into? Is it Mario?
I think Richter's like 16 or 17 here, dude.
No, he's the ripe old age of 19.
Yes, that exactly. Yeah,
super muscly and all that stuff. Yeah,
No. So you see, he's been training, for 9 years.
Right. Yep.
He's dedicated himself somewhere.
It's that perfect, late teen to early 20s age where it's like the I've grown, I've experienced things, and I can be, strong.
And I'm invincible.
And I'm invincible, and I'll, yeah, exactly.
And say, no, you're fucking not.
No, you're not. Yeah. But
I love this setup here. There was like no hard exposition this episode, really, other than what was coming out of Maria.
Yeah, talking about like the Marquis and all that stuff. Yeah. But the conversations that were had, I liked them. They felt like they didn't overstay their welcome, and the interaction with the abbot, I really liked that.
That one was really touched with a lot of subtext, and that's why I get the vibe that he's connected to them in some way.
It feels very much like, all right, you're coming back to Castlevania. You're expecting vampires and vampire hunters and magic and quips and sass, and we're gonna give you all that, right?
That's all here.
That's all here, and this is where we're gonna introduce the. All right, and this is the extra sauce that's going to be in this season, where things are going to get maybe a little bit different than what you're used to. While at the same time, you're still going to get what
right. We're still going to have your simple monsters fighting your heroes kind of fights and stuff.
Exactly.
And you're also going to have your brutal violence in that. Richter's mom, she was doing okay, and she maybe had a chance, but once Olrox turned into a dragon, like a whatever type of dragon drake thing that was.
Oh yeah.
The fight was over. That was a run and hope it can, not deal with water or something.
Although the fact that you revealed yourself in order magic probably didn't help too much. That was where the first hit did land.
No, it definitely didn't help. But I definitely got a bit of joy seeing the dragon thing just shrug off little firebolts.
Yeah.
Firebolt, magic missile, magic missile. Yeah. Lightning bolt.
Yeah.
But yeah. Having him carry a very simple desire for revenge is a nice kind of starting place to put him here. But we're already teasing apart so much more of like fighting for others and the way in which he already rationalizes that he does fight for Maria and Terra.
Right. He's just kind of having fun with, I enjoy killing vampires and monsters and stuff because, oh gee, I wonder why.
It gives me that little bit of faux catharsis towards what happened when I was a wee lad.
Right, and maybe it'll end up being training to where maybe I could go back and potentially beat that vampire dude,
But he's on his way here. In fact, no, he is here. He just docked in port here.
Oh yeah.
And the cult of the whatevers or whatever this group is with all the aristocrats is assembling for a reason, but the vampire messiah kind of things, I don't think we're getting like Dracula back or anything like that.
No.
But it would be fun to see something that's beyond vampires, because a lot of the stuff that they hinted at with the end of the series before this tied into larger world universes and other kinds of stuff
showing up and that.
Well, right, but I was also talking about the portals and the gateways and stuff. Like, I would love to see that this becomes like a segue into that larger story, and thus this initial plot line of I'm hunting the specific vampire that killed my mother,
right?
But also, there's a main plot. I don't care about that. I haven't been called to action properly yet.
Sure.
That's gonna happen here, and that can be what the larger story is about.
Yeah.
As he kind of gets forced, if you will, into becoming the hero.
I like it. Yeah, I feel like the sort of engine of narrative that we've set up so far has a lot of things going for it. I think one of my favorites that I wouldn't expect to be my favorite in a show is actually the outfits and the character design and just the aesthetic of the setting. Given how much style this show had, or the original show had, choosing to have it be in
18th
French
century.
Revolution, time where we can, show all these banquets and all that stuff that the aristocracy is putting on and everything. Yeah, I love it. It's beautiful to look at, right? So there's entertainment value there, but it really does, we can see this guy reclining on the stairs and be like, yeah, fuck this prick. Let's
his padded pants and his
and they're like, yes, you've brought me another body
face,
right? Yeah,
that, maybe even the powdered face is going to be the lore that this is how the vampires walked around during the day, is that they put so much fucking makeup all over themselves.
I like it.
That then they would walk around with their big wigs and be like,
oh yeah, the sun isn't actually too much of a problem. Yeah.
Maybe I shut my eyes every once in a while because it's...
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like looking up there.
But also,
then the wig I just tilt it down.
Also, there's just something fun to be said about the fact that it's all right. So the way that we can make all of the, like, grotesque, like, utilization of, you know, the peasantry and all that stuff is, we'll say that the people are vampires. You know, like, where it's like.
Yes, that's what they were from a thematic sense.
No, exactly,
as well.
Right. Yeah.
So I just literally starving and draining the people in this time of economic upheaval.
Yeah. Like the idea that it's like
it fits perfectly from a thematic side of things as
the
well.
real actions of real people. You know, if you just say that they were vampires, it makes way too much sense. Like,
well, it fits. It doesn't just make sense. It's like, oh, that's kind of what they were doing. Yeah. No, I love it. I'm excited.
And if the Messiah does end up being Alucard, I don't necessarily want it to be, because I feel like that'll cut a lot of tension, but it would be a funny joke for like 2 seconds, you know. But
you mean we're bringing back him? No. We've tried to summon him from hell, but he's too busy living with his wife there.
Right. And we tried to contact his kid, but don't you remember that, like, his kid spent a lot of time specifically killing other vampires?
Right.
Like,
we don't do that here. We don't fuck with Dracula's family anymore.
It's the meme of, like, all the people in the boardroom, and it's all right, we need to summon all the vampires. What about Alucard? Throws out the window.
All right, now that we can actually have a serious meeting here.
Right.
Let's summon some vampires.
Yep.
But yes, there's also a Forge Master.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Forge Master is somebody amidst the aristocracy, that could be a fun setup for there being somebody who's not necessarily a vampire.
Right,
but is working with them.
But if it was a vampire, that'd be wild.
I mean, a vampire Forge Master.
That'd be terrifying.
That kind of...
Ooh. Like, because think about it, like just a human Forge Master and the trouble that it caused. If you had someone who was like that, but also like had that ability, but was immortal, like it's like, all right, cool, suck the blood dry of my victims, and then tink, you know, like that.
I mean, yeah, you got a lot of problems there. Yeah. I am curious though why the abbot was so quick to dismiss accusations toward the chateau and the Marquis. Maybe it is something where like the Marquis is the Forge Master, and it's more that the Forge Master has some deals with the abbot specifically.
Sure.
Because
or the abbot's the Forge Master.
Maybe
people bring the dead to the
I was going to say specifically.
Cemetery, and
there's a lot of dead that pass their way through the church specifically.
You know, and
that's a lot of military to have for a
right. Also,
now this is a world of monsters.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But having the person with the Catholic Church be like, evil can be subtle. It's like, oh, you don't say. Like I feel like have we had a non-evil like priest in the original series? Like,
how many priests were there? There weren't many.
There weren't many, but I feel like multiple of them were terrible.
I think all of them were terrible.
Yeah.
But no, what I could see being pretty fun here is that if the abbot is someone that has a lot of, you know, dead people around them and stuff, they could see evil all around them.
Sure.
But the thing that they specifically go after and use their militant force for is only the undead. Meaning that vampires, monsters, all that kind of stuff, then we act. But there's a lot of, you know, even if you were a good priest, you'd see people come to confessionals, you know, confessing some evil. And they'd say some things where you'd be like, damn, yeah, you probably shouldn't cheat on your wife, you know? You probably shouldn't steal from your neighbor, you know?
Right, exactly.
Right. Like, that's evil. Like, that's some messed up stuff. And yet it's not usually...
We don't send the people with the crosses and the swords for that.
We don't, exactly. We don't send our Templars over to be like, well, you've got to die, sorry.
Right. Also, that is one of the other things that I'll say I loved as far as the outfits. Like, maybe it's just the Dark Souls, you know, player in me that's
they looked like Dark Souls
They looked like Dark Souls and enemies, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. But then if we also have some of them on our side fighting alongside the against the baddies.
Yeah, there was one of them in the midst that had like buzzed hair and stuff that he definitely seemed like I'm a main character kind of vibe.
And in that like all right, they'll help us, but we don't necessarily trust them. But also, these are people that could then make it so that there's casualties when our protagonists are fighting against the baddies. That's another thing that would be really
we
fun.
haven't really established anybody who's safe at the moment, other than Richter. So
Mario's not going to die.
I know, but I mean, I'm just saying we haven't established that.
Can you imagine? It's the all right. We set up the here's our new Treffy.
No, we don't have a pattern yet. We need multiple.
No, I know
episodes.
multiple episodes in order to get a pattern.
I'm going to tell you.
It
the
could be
vibe
Richter
I
and
got,
the mom. You know,
the vibe I got from Richter specifically is this guy is going to watch a lot of other people die around him.
Sure, because he doesn't actually have the motivation isn't personal yet.
Exactly.
Although his personal motivation did just arrive.
No.
Yes.
It is absolutely personal. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fact that he's egotistical and he's not a self-sacrificing kind of person.
He's aloof and all that stuff, and it's
I
like,
don't
hey,
care.
right? Did you? But people are dying. Like, you know, the fact that you're helping us fight the vampires and stuff, that's great. But it sure would be nice if you know.
Hence, he's a fucking wanker.
Yes, exactly. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm excited. Great first start, a lot of action. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon and get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about other shows in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel, see if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.